What's going on, everybody? I hope I'm coming through clear. I'm outside, I'm at a park, and there's a lot of people around me as well, so I want to make sure I'm not too loud, but you guys can hear me clearly. So we'll get started in a second. You know, anytime I have any big things to announce and things that's happening in my career, I always like to come back to this park. This is where my career really got started in the direct selling space. I used to work a job right down that street down there years ago, maybe 8 years ago. And every time on my lunch break and on my, I would walk down that street, come up here, and I would have my lunch here in this park. And I always had headphones on, and I was listening to, people thought I was listening to music. But in actuality, I was listening to Jim Rome, Les Brown, you know, all the, really, it was mostly Jim Rome at that time that I was listening to. And I was always thinking to myself, you know, why is it that I can only come to this park on my lunch break? I want to make it a time where I can come here whenever I feel like it. And it was, what, about 2 years? A year after I started that job, I was able to walk off my job and retire. So now I can come back to this, and it's a small little park, you know, in an industrial area. But I can come here whenever I feel like it, you know, because my time is my own. I don't have a boss. So that was 8 years ago, and I recorded videos. It's all on YouTube about that, the day I walked off my job. And the years since, anytime anything major was going on with me and my career, and I wanted to talk about it, I always did so from this park. So it's setting that we're back here again. The reason why businesses are successful, in any corporation for that matter, is because they have identified what the problem is, and then they've created a solution to the problem. Any business that's able to do that, to effectively communicate to the people they want to sell a product to what the problem is, and that you have a solution to that problem, has always been successful. See, a lot of companies get it wrong. A lot of companies are trying to sell a product. They're trying to sell a hammer, right? Instead of selling the hammer, you need to sell the guy a tool that he knows is going to fix his hole in the wall, or he needs to hang something up. You know, identify the problem and not have a focus on the whatever it is that you're actually selling. There's been no secret, for the past 2 years, I have changed my career and moved completely into the cryptocurrency space. Now and I was network marketing for 18, 19 years. And I retired from that and moved into the crypto space because I wanted to move into Robert Kiyosaki's fourth quadrant, the investor quadrant. The ability to let my money work for me. See, just so you understand, if you work a 9-to-5 job, you're trading time for money. You get paid for how many hours you work a week. If you want more money, you got to work more hours. And there's only 24 hours in a day, so you can only do so much. If you get into direct selling and network marketing, now you are leveraging. You're leveraging other people. So what happens if you get sick and you're on a 9-to-5 job and that's all you've got? You know, you lose your income. But if you're in direct selling and you've got 100 people that you're getting an income off of, and 10% of them get sick that week or don't go to work, you still have 90% income coming in. And that's how I made a career and a name for myself, and I made 7 figures in that industry doing that. But now I've evolved to the next level, and the next level is, how about allowing money to make money for you without having to leverage other people? What does that mean? That means in today's network marketing age, people are always jumping ship. They're moving from company to company. There's no such thing as residual income anymore. You know, the people that are still making 6 and 7 figures on a consistent basis joined their companies 10, 15 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, and they've been with the same company ever since. Those days are really long gone. You look at the average lifespan of somebody in a network marketing company today, and at most it may be a year and a half. So to me, that was just another job. If I stop doing what I'm doing, my income's going to stop within 3 months. So I wanted to be in an industry where my money was going to make money for me. And I realized that the cryptocurrency space is going to be revolutionary. Now, I don't want to go into that aspect just yet. I just wanted to chart you my path of what I've been on. 2017, I made that decision to say I am going 100% full-blown into cryptocurrency. I even know the exact date where I actually put money in with the explicit intent of making money in the crypto space, and that was August 29th, 2017. I did my very first trade with 30 bucks, $30. And that's all I had at the time. I was actually about to get a job back at that time. But $30, and I was able to flip $30 into 6 figures in 4 months because of that time. And I don't say that to impress you. In fact, as a disclaimer, I am not a licensed financial advisor. I just read the news, I cover events, and I share my opinion and suggestions. And you take, your own education and opinion, and you make your own decisions. So that's what I did, and I rode that wave of 2017 of Bitcoin going from $1,000 to almost $20,000 a coin until it turned around, going into 2018. And 2018, the market dropped. A lot of companies that were out there that were promising riches, 2%, 3%, whatever a month, they went out of business. People lost all their money. And we made a decision to say one thing that is lacking in this industry is education. People are not educated in this space. We need to create a company that's going to bring crypto education to the masses. Because if you're educated, then it's not going to guarantee that you're never going to lose, but at least you'll minimize your losses. You'll be able to spot red flags out there. You'll be able to enter and invest in this space, responsibly. I've got 4 rules. Number 1, education is key. Education is everything. Number 2, never invest money you cannot afford to lose. Number 3, always be willing to get a return on your investment. And number 4, where do you see yourself in 3 months, 6 months, a year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now? And we attempted to do that. Great idea. And I put literally everything into this project. Emotional, physical, and financial. And we have been working this project for 18 months. Now, I always thought that we'd be able to launch and just start hitting the ground running and start going and going and going. But we went through from cryptogenics to KGX to economics and multiple different founder or ownership, and up to the point now that and we still haven't launched just yet. Now, that's not an indictment of the company. The vision that economics wants to put forth in bringing crypto education, and not just crypto education, but the digital economy to the world, they want to do everything the right way. Which means they don't want to do what other companies have done and rush to the market. They're taking their time. They're making sure they're legal in the United States, and they're doing everything the right way. I have no problem with that. The only issue I have is that I personally have ran out of time. I can no longer afford to just wait. I've gone over a year without marketing anything else, without selling anything else. I do a crypto talk every single day that I'm talking about crypto education and the need for it, but I had no platform to actually point people to get crypto education, besides me teaching it myself. So I had to make a decision to add on to, and I want to make sure you understand what I'm saying here. Not leave, not discard, not jump ship. Add on to my portfolio. Instead of being so tunnel vision and let's just try to get this thing off the ground, it's not in my hands. I can't force it. I can't make it move any faster. But everything else in my life is not on pause. The bills don't stop. They still come in on a consistent basis. So I had to make that mental shift to say, okay, while economics is doing what it's doing to get in place, I need to add other projects on so that I can rebuild my own portfolio, because I've gone a whole year without having any direct stream of income coming in. I did very well in 2017 and 2018, that I was able to live off of that in 2019, but I'm at the point now I can't do that anymore. So I started really thinking about what is it that I can add on that's not going to disrupt what my passion is. See, my passion is cryptocurrency. My passion is teaching this to the masses, bringing crypto awareness. I'm very good at it and I love doing it. So I need to stay within my passion at the same time and adding on to my portfolio. I had a good talk with my partner, Peter Blackwell, and he said the same thing. I came to the same conclusion. He said, you know, Brandon, we're old school. We came from an old way of thinking that, you know, you can't ride 2 horses with one ass. Or you can't ride 3 horses with one ass. And that was the old network marketing way, but we're in the investing world now. And in the investing world, you have what's called a portfolio, which means you have a basket of things that you're a part of, that you're putting your money into, that you're putting your time into. And all of these are bringing you a stream of income. This is a different mentality, a different mindset. Do you think Warren Buffett is only invested in Berkshire Hathaway? No, he owns a lot of stock in Microsoft and many dozens of other companies. So we got to have that same mindset. But what also pushed me towards this decision, and this is where I'm going to bring up what I said at the very beginning, a successful business is one that understands and identifies the problem and then has a solution to that problem. Here's what's happening. We are now in the red zone when it comes to cryptocurrency. We are now entering a point of no return. Think of it, the internet 1998, 1999, maybe 2001, 2002. You know, when the Amazons and companies came online after the Bitcoin bubble burst, or not the Bitcoin, the .com bubble burst. After those companies fell off, the whole euphoria of internet and that stuff went away. The internet never died, but then you had an explosion to get to where we are right now. We're now reaching close to that point in the cryptocurrency space. Now, if you're listening to me and you don't really understand, let me spit some facts to you that are undeniable. Here's the reality of the situation if you're living in the United States. Here's the reality. 97% of all Americans are going to retire broke, depending on family, government, and friends by the age of 65. 97%. Most Americans don't have $1,000 in their savings account. Most Americans can't survive a $400 emergency if it were to happen to you right now. Most Americans think they're in middle class, but they're actually poor. They're living paycheck to paycheck. Most Americans that have a college degree are working jobs that still are not providing a full livable income. So it needs 2 families and 2 people in the household working a full-time job. Even though we're in a great economy right now, unemployment rate is as low as it's ever been, it is still not enough for the average American. The dollar that we have in our hand is worth 5% of what it was 100 years ago. We're almost at $22 trillion in debt as a nation. Other countries are now selling our debt and stockpiling gold. Other nations say, we don't want to have United States power of us anymore. We need to get away from the US dollar. We need to start creating our own currencies, our own way of doing business away from Washington control. And when that starts to happen, what is going to happen to our buying power? We just had the U.S. banks say that they're now going to start doubling the print of money over the next 2 to 3 years. They want to go from $3.5 trillion of money in circulation to $7 trillion over the next few years. Do you know what's going to happen to our economy when they do that? It may solve some problems short term, but inflation's going to skyrocket. You go to the grocery store and buy that gallon of milk, it's going to be almost double what it is right now. But yet you're not going to get a raise on your job. We're not seeing this just in the United States because we're one of the lucky ones right now since we sit on top of the dollar. In Chile, Zimbabwe, Venezuela, Lebanon, Greece, France, we are seeing worldwide protests of citizens in their countries that they're upset with their federal government because they're running out of money. They're going to the ATM machines and there's not enough money to pull out. These are the realities that we're living in today. Your opinion is irrelevant. This is a fact. These are the problems. The world's government's solution to that is just to print more money. And all that's doing is kicking the can down the curb. One day, you're not going to be able to do that anymore. You're going to run into a wall. And you run into the wall, we're going to have an economic collapse. It's not if, it's a matter of when. And I live by the Jim Rohn philosophy. It's not going to depend on my government to save me, or a bank to save me, or a company to save me. The bottom line is you need to build a financial wall around your family, your house so high that nothing can penetrate it. But if this is a worldwide problem, what is the solution? What's the solution to this problem? What can you personally do? Number one, you need to get educated and understand that the problem even exists. You can't keep putting your head in the sand and thinking that Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is meaningless. Because one day you're going to be driving down the street, you're going to start seeing Bitcoin ATMs all over the place. You're going to go into a Starbucks and they're going to now say you can pay your coffee with crypto. You're going to go into your job and your job is going to say, we need a Bitcoin address because we're paying you in cryptocurrencies for your salaries and commissions. Whether you like it or not, this is going to happen. But what's alarming to me now, why now and not 2 or 3 or 4 months ago? Why now? Because Bitcoin is going to be halving next year in 2020. All signs, and I cover this every single day, all signs is alerting me to something major is about to go down in the next 12 to 24 months. And according to my own calculations, we've got 7 months. 7 months left before the rocket ship takes off. And what is that rocket ship I'm talking about? I'm talking about cryptocurrencies. That rocket ship. There's going to be a time you're going to be able to say, yeah, I remember when Bitcoin was less than $10,000 a coin. And your grandchildren are going to say, did you buy any at that time? You're going to say, no, I didn't know. I didn't understand it. I didn't believe in it. I didn't get educated on it at the time. I didn't know any better. Let me tell you something to break this down. Why I changed my career, I realized 2 things about cryptocurrency. The first thing that I learned is that cryptocurrency represents the greatest economic shift in wealth in the history of mankind for the most amount of people. That last part is important, the most amount of people. Why? Because there's been other shifts in wealth in history before. There's a movie out right now called The Current Wars that talks about Thomas Edison and Nikola Tesla. That time in history, I'm fascinated about it. Don't watch that movie. Watch on the History Channel a series called The Men Who Built America. The John D. Rockefellers, J.P. Morgans, Thomas Edison, Henry Ford, the Titans. These guys had more money than the rich people of today have back in those days. They were able to save the federal government by writing one check. That's how much money they had. But during that great industrial revolution, was that available for everybody or only for a handful of people? Everybody else just watched it happen. They were witnesses to it. Today, everybody has an opportunity to be involved. There's no racism, sexism, discrimination. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, if you have a college degree, what language you speak, what country you were born in, rich or poor, none of that matters. If you have a cell phone, access to the internet, and a willingness to learn, you can change your family tree for the next 100 years based on what you do between now and the next 24 months. Regardless, doesn't matter who you are. Everybody has that opportunity. The problem is most people don't even know that it exists. That's why I do what I do. The second thing that I learned is that blockchain technology, the technology itself, is going to disrupt every single industry on the planet today. Every single one. Nothing is going to be left untouched. It's already starting to happen now. I started to cover and read articles this past week, and you hear about China. China made an announcement this week. They are moving their entire economy onto the blockchain, but it's a blockchain they control because they're creating their own digital economy. Not only are they doing that, they have their most popular app is now offering crypto courses. But wait, it doesn't stop there. Go to my Facebook page and read the quote I just posted earlier. They're not stopping there. They're also forcing all journalists have to be able to be fluent in blockchain if they want to keep their job. Oh wait, it doesn't stop there. Not only that, they just passed a law against anti-blockchain language on social media. So if anybody is talking negative about blockchain, they're going to scrub it from social media. Do you think they're all in? This is not Jack Ma from Alibaba saying this. This is President Xi Jinping of China is moving in this direction. And when you ask him why, you want to know why he says why? He says it is time that we move away from the US dollar and United States dominance over the world economy. Do you think he's the only one? Vladimir Putin, do you know what he said 2 years ago? Two things he said. Number one, he said that the Stone Age did not end due to the lack of stones. The Stone Age ended due to the introduction of better technology. Look around. There's still stones. Then he said, the countries that lead the innovation of this new technology will become the new world superpowers, and the nations that do not will live underneath the thumb of those who do. Right now, China's leading the way. The United States is far behind. That brings major red flags to me, which leads me to this. The solution is crypto for individually. Gold, precious metals, crypto, any asset outside of fiat currency. Everything that I'm saying is factual. It is not my opinion. Now, I have a solution personally. And it took me a while to get to this point. I've had friends of mine that have been on me about, Brandon, you got to do something. Brandon, are you sitting there waiting? Brandon, you're not moving forward. I can't push economics to move faster. However, I talked to the people behind economics, and they are working every single day to bring it to reality. There's not a doubt in my mind that is going to happen. It's just a matter of when. So until that day comes, I need to make a couple of moves. And I'm going to share with you those moves right now. There's 3 moves I'm making. Like I talked with Peter, you need to be doing at least 3 things on top of what I'm going to be having with my investments going into 2020. There's 3 things I'm going to be doing, and this goes completely against how I normally operate. If you've been following me for years, you know I operate in a certain way. I'm not a hype guy. I don't care about any of that stuff. I'm not a flaunt guy. I just keep it real and tell it like it is. I'm extremely loyal, and I'm always focused on what I do. If I say I'm going to do something, I do it. I'm a Morehouse man. It's been ingrained in me. My reputation means something. My name means something. So if I say I'm going to do something, I do it. The biggest pet peeve I have with people is when they say they're going to do something and they don't do it. So here's what I'm going to do. And again, if I say I'm going to do it, I do it. Economics ain't going anywhere. That will always be my foundation. But I talk about crypto every day, and I need to sell education. So here's what I'm going to do. This past summer, I was hired as a consultant for a new company in South Africa, and I helped create all of their crypto content. They created cryptocurrency basic education, but their goal and focus is on how to trade cryptocurrency. What I learned how to do to get my whole career started. And once a week, I teach on their private group crypto training on how to trade it. I'm going to be promoting this company when it comes to crypto education. Even when economics opens its door, because they do two different things, I'm still going to be promoting it because they do two different things, economics and Coinbit Pro. There's no conflict. So this is first. In fact, tonight I'm having a grand opening call about this company. So if you want to learn about, and you've been waiting on something to open up so that you can get some crypto education, tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, on teachmecrypto.info, I'm doing a live introduction. I don't even call this a presentation because it's not a presentation. I'm going to introduce you to Coinbit Pro. That's going to be tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, teachmecrypto.info. So I don't need to talk anymore about it now. I'm just telling you that's one of the things. That's one. But that represents crypto space. So that means economics and Coinbit Pro. That's all in one for me in the crypto space. Number two, I'm under an NDA, so I cannot give details. This company launches in 34 days now, I think it is. 30 or 35 days in December. The cost is $50. I can tell you that it has to deal with charities. Yes, I know that. It says my internal storage is low. This may cut on me. I gotta speed this up. All right. So the best I can do for you right now about this is if I'm making a list of those that want to add another stream of income and it only costs $50. Send me a message and I'll put you on the list. As soon as the NDA is opened, then we'll have some broadcasts about what it is, and you can decide if you want to be a part of it. I'll tell you now, some of you, it's not for you. If this is one of those programs, if you've got too many questions for me, I'm going to tell you to hold on your $50 and go somewhere else. That's not what it's designed for us to be paying that much attention to. It's just one of those things that's going to make us a lot of money. The third thing, and this is blowing me away. My partner, Peter Blackwell, I've been doing business with him since like 2014, 15, somewhere around there, out of Sweden. He did what I think I probably should have done. He's also a loyal guy. But he told me, he said, Brandon, man, if economics can't get off the ground, I got to do something else. I got to feed my family. I got to pay my bills. And I said, Peter, I completely understand. But he was quiet about it. Since last April, he started building this company internationally. And then he lets me know 5-6 months later, hey Brandon, by the way, I made 6 figures in the last 6 months. I said, doing what? He said, remember that thing I told you about? Now, I was a part of it as well. The thing is, I did not promote it because they were not doing business in the United States. So it wasn't even on my radar screen. I had a position, but I didn't do anything with it because it wasn't on my radar screen. Now, when Peter contacted me about it, and I started to listen to him, and I started to look at it, this company is not even launched yet. It launches in, I think, 17 days in South Africa, is their official launch. They have since my position was created, over 570,000, it might be 600,000 people have joined. They're signing up one person every second. Right now, actually, I found out this morning, they're doing 25,000 people a day is joining this company. 25,000 people a day. And then I got confirmation that they will be in the United States next year. I already have a position and I'm building it internationally right now. And I happen to have it's a binary, and one of my legs is already done. So which means everything that I'm building is going to be underneath one leg. When they come to the United States, this will probably be the thing I speak about the most. If you are international, and you have an international address, then you can be a part of this. You can sign up with me. I'm not giving no details on this Facebook Live of what it is. You got to contact me privately and I'll give you all the info. Uh-oh. I need to clean out my phone. But yeah, you can be a part of this if you are international. And if you know how I do things, since it's a binary, first come, first serve, if you get in now, everything that I do happens below you. That shouldn't be an incentive, but you know how people are, and it's a fact. I've got a lot of money there that I want to go get, which means I'm going to build the doggone thing. But I came up with something this morning. I haven't even told Peter about this yet. What I think I'm going to do for my USA people, now that I know it is coming to the United States, I don't know, I know sometime next year. If you're in the United States and you want to get position, at least, because I'm building it anyway, I will allow that to happen. But there's packages on this thing, anywhere between $100 to $3,000 that it costs. The top two is gold and titanium. $800 is gold. I'm not signing up nobody in the United States that doesn't have $800 to get a gold position, because you're going to be sitting on my entire team. So if you're coming in with anything less than $800, I'm not giving you, you can't sign up. I'm not doing that. And then I'll work behind the scenes to see if we can get your KYC done so that you can get paid. You can join, you just can't get paid because you're in the United States. But if you want to at least be able to hold that position until it does, there's things we can work out. So if you're in the US and you're serious, because I'm telling you now, I am. You think I'm gonna, one, you think I'm gonna let Peter beat me? Me and Peter are always in competition with each other. I ain't gonna let that happen. And two, you think I'm gonna let millions of dollars sit on the table? That's also not gonna happen, because I do have millions of dollars sitting on the table on that. So I'm gonna build it. So if you're in the United States and you want to be able to get one of those top spots before I build it in the United States when it comes, then it's gonna cost $800 at least. Don't come to me with nothing less. So those are the three things that I'm going to be focusing on in the crypto space. That's economics and Coinbit Pro for a crypto education. The second thing is what launches in December. That's $50. And the third is this international company that's growing faster than anything I've ever seen before. And is probably going to make the most money than anything I've seen before because of what they do. And I'll be talking more about that in more detail as time goes on. There is a possible fourth. And I only say this because I am a supporter of the network marketing space. That's where I made a name for myself. I'm a supporter of that space. And I've got friends in that space that have excellent products. And there's a product that I have been watching that has been helping a lot of people. It's been working for them. There's a lot of money to be made. So I may add that on just to have it as a baseline product if I want to sell something or somebody wants that. But I won't be talking about that probably until January or so. But the main thing right now is crypto education, the company in December, and this international company that's breaking all records that some of you might have already heard about, but you will hear. 25,000 people a day are joining, and none of them are in the United States. So I'm offering you guys can get a position now before it gets to the United States, and we can be ready for that. So that's all I wanted to share. I wanted to give you a good idea of what I'm thinking about and why. Why am I doing this? We need to make as much money as possible to build our portfolio before May of 2020. What's happening May of 2020? Bitcoin is halving. That means every single day, right now there's about $14 million worth of Bitcoin that hits the market daily. When the halving takes place, that's going to jump right down to like $7 million worth of Bitcoin every single day. And when you have something and you have less of a supply, demand goes up, value goes up, price goes up. All experts are talking about Bitcoin going from what it is right now, $9,200, to $50,000, $100,000, $1 million per coin. We don't have time to wait. We don't have time to dibby dabble. We don't have time to sit back and think, I don't know, is this going to work? Look, I'm going to be moving fast, and I have no time to explain. Either you're going to roll or you're going to watch. Either way, it's going to happen because I do what I say I'm going to do. But I am inviting you along for the ride. Tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, teachmecrypto.info. We're going to talk about Coinbit Pro. And then the next few weeks, I'll be talking about what's happening in December. And those of you that's international, you send me a message and I'll get you plugged into that. 25,000 people a day. All right, well, that is it. Thank you guys for listening to me. If you were confused about whatever it is that I'm doing, this video explains it. I'm going to download this off of Facebook and upload it to YouTube, and anybody asks me any questions, I'm going to share this with them. Again, everything that I do doesn't mean that's for you. Most of you have already been doing other things. I'm the only one that hasn't. All right? I'm the one that's behind the rest of you. It's me that's starting to catch up to you guys. So if you're doing something else, more power to you. Keep on doing it. If you want to be down with the programs that I got going on, you just let me know. Have a great day, everybody. See you all tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Bitcoin Brandon out. And send me a private message. Don't send me messages on here and think I'm going to be able to see it and respond to you. Send me a private message. Take care. God bless. Bye-bye.